Hey guys, Brenny here, and today I'll be teaching you how to make a one-punch experience farm made originally by Casper's MC, so his original video will be linked in the description. Also, I do use some techniques by Ethos Lab, so his video channel will be linked in the description. Feel free to check them out. Anyway, a one-punch XP farm is basically, it spawns mobs while you kill them. So over here, you'll see most of these mobs are one punch. And the only real thing this has on you is that it uses a lot of your food bar. So you'll see I can sit here and punch them for days. You can even get splash potions that do damage and kill all of them at once. And I believe you still get XP for that. So anyway, I'll get on to some trivia with mob spawns. A mob spawner will only start working if you are within 16 blocks of it. So once I go 17 blocks away from this, which should be about here, you'll see the fire goes off. And that basically means it's inactive. Also, it will spawn 1 to 4 mobs at a time every 10 to 40 seconds. So if you think about it, if you have a bunch of unlucky spawns, your XP is going to drop and stuff like that. And most of the time you'll AFK something like this. So sometimes you'll get a heap of XP, sometimes you won't. The area that they spawn in is 8 by 8 by 3, so if you have a bigger area, your spawn rate basically is increased just because they're free to spawn. So if you have like a 2 by 2 box around this, it's going to be hard for them to all spawn in there. Also, if you have 6 mobs within this spawner, it will actually stop working. So within 17 blocks of this spawner, if there is more than 6 mobs, it will stop working and you'll just see a puff of smoke, but you won't see the mob spawn. As you'll see, the mob spawner starts spinning really fast, and then a mob will pop out in a cloud of smoke. But if there's just a cloud of smoke, that clearly means there's 6 or more mobs within 17 blocks of this, or you're on peaceful, obviously. So you'll see it starts spinning. We clearly got a longer spawn here. It's faster and faster, and then it will pop out some mobs, kind of how babies are born, I suppose. But anyway, I'll get on to teaching you this in another world, so be right back. Alright guys, so we've got our mob spawner, and this is how it naturally spawns. Now we need to make a 8 by 9 room around it, leaving the room about 3 high above the spawner. So we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 from either side will actually make this the 9 part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now this is a 9 long pathway, and then this way we want to have 8, and we'll only have one break in from this wall, like so, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll have 4 away from this one, so we'll go 2 out on this wall. And now you dig out that room, leaving it 3 or 2 high, up to you, depends, because if you have 3 high from this, I think they'll have more chances spawning on top of this. But I like to bring the roof down and have it 3 high from this floor beside the mob spawner. So that's really up to you. I don't know what increases the rates. I tested it out. I couldn't really see a difference. And also just luck plays a big part in this. So I'm going to actually have my roof 1 down. I'll come back when I've emptied out this room and made it the right size. And I'll show you how I did it. Just so you guys, in case you make a mistake. Anyway, be right back. Alright guys, so our area is now 8 by 9, so the long way is actually the way the water will be placed. So you'll place 9 water down here, and then they'll stop all perfectly here. But before we get to that, we've actually got to fly around and fill any caves within about 30 blocks of this with torches, just to stop other mobs spawning. Because if other mobs spawn, it could decrease the rate of your spawn, and it also could completely stop it if 6 or more mobs become within 17 blocks of this. So make sure you just basically fill the caves connecting to the mob spawner. If there's more caves, like through breaking through walls and stuff like that, make sure you check them out. But if they're further than, like, this is way too far, I don't need to go this far. It's just if zombie spawns all the way over there and then walks all the way here, that could really affect my ratings. Well, not my ratings, my spawn rates. So it's really up to you. Anyway, we'll just check this cave over here and make sure we've filled that. And once we've done that, we need to break the floor down 2 blocks under the spawner. So we put torches on the spawner because you'll probably be doing this on a hostile server or something like that. This does work on a server. I don't know how efficient, but it does work. So now we need to break the floor down by 2, like that. and go all the way through our 8x9 area, and then you need to put water along one edge. This is a big decision and it's totally up to you how you want it, but I'll show you an easy way to decide how you want that. But yeah, I'll come back once I've done this floor area. Alright guys, so once you have the floor completely dug out to below the mob spawner, so 1, 2, and it's your 9x8 shape, you need to pick a side of the 9. So you'll see this is our 9 side because there's 9 blocks that way. Now you want to pick left or right. I've picked left and I've already made the 17 block length. But you need to make sure it's 17 blocks. So what I like to do is put a block and count each individual one until it's 17. And this is where our mobs are going to land. So make sure that you are counting correctly because this is really important. If it's 16, it will mess up. Feel free to go and add 18 maybe just to be careful. But if you stand too close to it, it will actually stop working the spawner. Alright, so once you've done that, you need to place water on the one side of the 9. So you'll see it stops perfectly at the end of the room. You can also do it on the other side along the 9. Make sure you don't do it along the 8 because that won't work and you'll see it stops 1 block away and stuff like that. Now what you need to do is dig into the wall and dig a little canal for the water to go down. Well, it won't actually go down, it will stop before there, but this is where our monsters are going to fall. So once you're equal with the water, go 2 deep. And make sure you dig the top part off too, just so the mobs can jump in there easier, because you see I just got stuck on it, so the mobs pretty much will because they're dumber than me. And that's pretty dumb. But anyway, now we just need to pretty it up if you want. It's not really necessary, but yeah, fill in the walls like so. I will actually make my wall even higher just so that the mobs can jump in there easy as. Alright, so once you've done that, put a bit of water in. And you'll see it stops because this is actually 9 and we've got to continue it on. And we actually have to line up with this. So come all the way to the end of the pathway you dug, which will be where the mobs end up. Press F3 and look at your, what is it? Your X-axis. Mine is currently 41. So what we need to do is go into this tunnel where we put our water and go all the way to 41. So we'll open up our map and continue digging until we hit 41. And then that is where we will be putting the elevator. It really is up to you where you place the elevator. You can place it earlier, but I feel that pushing the mobs straight away is better. So that's 39. You guys don't really need to see that much, but I'll still show you. Alright, so here's 41. If we dug straight sideways and up a bit, would be at the end of that other tunnel. So what you want to do is actually make this tunnel here 3 high, because when you're filling it up with water, it can become pretty annoying. And once you've done the water, actually make it 2 high again. Now this is where I'm going to use Ethos technique, so that's why I gave him credit. You need a sign, stairs or a half slab, and a bucket of water. And what you'll do is when the water ends, you'll put a sign and then break 3 blocks around that. So 1 block beside it, 1 block beside it, and the block under it. And put a staircase on the side that the water is rushing to, I suppose, and then put water on top of that staircase. And you'll see if we were a skeleton, it would push us along and then would get pulled up the staircase and would be continuously going forward. So once you get to the end of the water again, do the same thing, put a sign, break 3 blocks, and then put a staircase. And now we're up to here. This is where we can have our elevator here, or we can move it across a bit and have it in our area. Now I'm going to mark out how I like it, and then I'll show you how I did it. Alright, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so you'll see to the left where we dug out those 17 blocks. I've dug out 17 blocks, how many times? Like 6 or 7 times. And this is basically just for a viewing area. Also, it makes just doing things a lot easier in the tutorial. So feel free to do that. Now, lining up with the mob spawner, go your 17 blocks and break the top 2. Now, this is where the mobs are going to fall. They're going to need to fall 22 to 23 blocks. I couldn't really figure it out. Like, I counted like 50 times, but either. It just, one time they'll die and the other time they'll die. And it's just play around with it and find the height for you. I also think monsters have different health, so like skeletons and zombies will take less of like a fall sometimes than the other ones. And then 1 gap beside that, you want to do a straight path. This is where our mobs will be elevated. So you'll dig 2 down and then come out here and continue your path onto that. So remembering these two should line up. You'll dig 2, 3, and there it is. It lined up perfectly. Now, this is where our mob evader is going to go. I'm going to show you how to build that. It's a bit of an ask to build, but we're actually going to use ladders, which not a lot of people do, and now they should start doing, because ladders are probably better than signs, because the mobs will climb up the ladders. Although the old ladders, they used to bump into them, and now the new ladders, they don't. So what we're going to do is go all the way to the bottom, and remembering water will be placed here. One space up, we're going to put a ladder, and then the next space we're going to put water. And you'll see that the roof is only too high here, and eventually we'll make the rest of the roof too high. Now you need to go all the way up, doing water, ladder, water, ladder. Feel free to put glass here, that's what I like to do. You also need to make another way of getting in this room, so we'll do that now. We'll just, where should we do it? We'll go here, and we'll just break straight up, and that will be our way in and out for once we have built most of this. Alright, so this is where we're going to end up, where we're going to enter and come in and out of this once we've dug our ladders and stuff. And now we can actually place glass in here and have a way back in. Alright, so we have our ladder, and now we need water, and then we go... Oh, I had to replace the ladder with the glass, didn't I? Stupid me. Alright, we're going to get out ladders again. We ladder, water, and we're just going to keep going up, breaking all the blocks above us again. Now, once again, you got to measure 22 to 23 blocks, so... Going up, it doesn't really matter. You measure when you're going down, so just keep doing that fairly far. You can measure it if you want, but I wouldn't, because different mobs have different health, basically. So just go up a few blocks, roughly 25 maybe, and placing ladder, then water, and then stop. And now you want to go back in, so find our little hole, which you should mark with a torch, because it's pretty hard to find a hole, especially when you're not flying. You'd also put ladders there, but we don't need to. Alright, now what you're going to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 22. So was that 7? 1, 2, 3, I think that was 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So once you get to 22, break across, and there'll be only one block gap between your original tunnel. Now dig around you, just make a little area. You can make this look pretty, or you can make it look ugly. It's really up to you. I like to make it look pretty and go and replace it all with stone and make it look awesome, basically. So replace that with stone, and this is basically where we're gonna push the mobs, and they're gonna fall down here, and then they're gonna be one punch from death. So we'll break that sand that fell down. Now we need to actually finish off this tunnel, so our water stream down here. So we need to... How many signs did we miss? We missed... how many water paths did we miss? There we go. We missed a few, but it doesn't really matter. Now, one crucial thing here is you put a sign on the opposite side of this, where the hole will be. And that's because once you place water on top of this ladder, it will stop the sign. Don't put a ladder there, because the ladder will keep holding the mobs up. And now what you need to do is build a little wall around this. So, too high, so the mobs can stand up in there, but they won't get stuck, I suppose. So that's 1 high, 1, 2, and now we just put a little roof on there so they don't get burnt by the light, because that could give them extra damage. Alright, now we need to go back in there, and we're almost done. Basically, we just need to place, I think, one more water stream, which is in here, and then make this roof 2 high. So this is our last water stream. I'd like to say break this, just any torches that are unneeded break, unless they are lighting up like an area. And now we'll make this 2 high again. And I like to put just a little roof here and have like a viewing glass scene area. So if we get out some glass, like so. And now when we turn this on, once we take off the torches, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I took away the torches in that room. I've got some torches here, but it doesn't really matter as long as the light level is below 7 for this. So if you have a torch right beside it, that should get it to stop working. But yeah, just make sure 7. If you don't know how to count that, I think like the torch is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, every one space away from it. Basically just don't have a torch right beside it. Anyway, we made our mobs drop 22, remember, and that's actually one too little. Some are actually 3 punches, so that one was a 2 punch, that one was a 1 punch, but if you make it 23, some will actually die, and it's up to you. I like to do 23 because I like the 1 or 2 punches instead of 3 punches. I think that's a bit too many. Anyway, to make it 1 higher, you actually need to double up water, which might confuse some of you, so I'm going to show you that. We'll fly up there, and break the top part off, and you'll see there's water here. We've got our water, our sign blocking. Just put one more bit of stone there, move up the sign by 1, and then put water on top of the water. Now that's only double water, they'll still swim up it. It's the fact that if you have a heap of water in there, they have a chance of drowning. You also need to bring your roof up by 1, so like that, and now our roof is too high, and that's all you do. We'll drop back down there and give it a test. Now putting a bit of glass here, I like to do that just so you can see them. You can put stone or whatever you want. You don't have nothing there because the ones that live will actually just walk out. Another thing I like to do when it's actually 23 high, if it's 22 this won't work, is break this here, 2 down, and put a piston, get a switch, and get some redstone. Where's my redstone? There it is. And put the piston there, making sure it has a space. Put the redstone on top of a block beside the piston, put this block back there, fill in that floor, and put a switch on this wall. And what that will do is actually be able to control if they die or if they survive. Because we made it, oops, 1 second. Because we made it a 23 drop fall, that makes them 1 or 2 hearts. So if we make it 24 by bringing down this block, it is almost definite death. Occasionally some will survive, but they'll be like a punch at the most. So if you do this, it's more just for the items instead of the experience. And the fact is you won't have to punch any, so you could just stand here, and if you hear a sound of something attacking you, punch once basically. But yeah, that's totally optional. That's about it for this tutorial. Feel free to leave a favorite or a video response of you showing yours off, or if you have a little improvement. Also, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. This is probably the most effort I've ever put into a video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.